grocery store or Target
Yeah,
or something like that.
I went last night. It was fucking packed.
What?
Packed.
Snapping what? Bring it here real quick so I got to do this. Oh, it's not raining out. What do you need her in her raincoat for?
I need it.
Oh, okay. Do you want the top one?
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Ibrahim Robertson is back on Old Man Logan. Yay.
Yeah, I'm excited for Juan to get on there. That's what I'm pumped for.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad that Dalibor Telejek is off and the guy who was on before him is back. And I can't wait for Juan. What is it, July? I think his issue's coming.
Yeah, he said 43. I saw on Twitter the other day is his first issue.
All right, and we're at 39, and it's bi-weekly, so
yeah, that book comes out a lot.
It does. I think they're racing towards something.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna kill him or not because his healing factor's not working basically now. And
no, he's got scars all over his face and shit. Like he's not long for this world.
I think they're gonna send him back. I would rather they just send him back. Then we can get stories back in that timeline.
Yeah, they can do it like Old Man Hawkeye, where they just show us that world. That book.
Because I don't remember that Hulk arc. Did some of them end up just going back, or did they just stay in this timeline? I forget.
I think they stayed.
Did they?
Yeah, I think they stayed, but they wanted to stay hidden. That
was a long arc.
Yeah, it was a pretty long. I think it was 6 issues. When did it end? Issue 30, I think.
It ended in like March, or no, like. I don't even remember when that was, to be honest.
They ran from issue 25 to 30 because Zone Empire was doing the rips, and then Minutemen Toth took over doing the rips for Zone Empire. So, yeah, him and Hawkeye walked off. Yeah. They just, what's that chick's name? She's like, no, you've helped us enough. And gave him.
Yeah, like the She-Hulk one version, kind of the
Yeah. I forget her name. Her and 4 of the kids just walked off, and are gonna like. Left. So hey, that opens them up. We could see them again someday down the road.
All right, let's get this going here.
I love that I have this file.
All right, welcome everybody. This is the Marvel Minute. I am Brandon, as always, joined by Trevitt. How we doing, Trevitt?
Not bad. How you doing?
Good. What are you looking at me awkwardly for? What do you need? Nothing? Okay. This is the winner this week, was in a close race, nudging out Venom. #1 was Hunt for Wolverine, Adamantium Agenda #1.
I was shocked.
Yeah, I think it was because a bunch of, only get fresh crew. They like Tom Taylor. So I think that was kind of the deciding factor. They went with the writer they know over the hot new writer, apparently, at Marvel. So Tom Taylor wins out. And I forget what that third book I put. I think it was Domino 2 was the other one we threw up there. So yeah, Tom Taylor is the writer. We got art team RB Silva, Adriano Di Benedetto, Jesus Aburtoff, and VC's Joe Sabino for letters. This is this third miniseries of 4, #1 to come out in 3 weeks, or is this the second?
This is the first.
I thought the Daredevil one came out already.
Yeah. This is the second. Second. Daredevil was first.
I think next week 2 come out, if I'm not mistaken. I forget. I don't know the release schedule. I think 2 a month are coming though, aren't they, for each of them?
I think 4 a month, 1 a week.
Okay. That would make sense. So we got Tom Taylor's turn here at the helm. So yeah, we're gonna get into a little blurb, tell you what happened here in this book, and if we find out anything about Wolverine. The Hunt for Wolverine continues with Tom Taylor's miniseries dropping this week, Adamantium Agenda. And like everyone, I'm eagerly awaiting some answers about where my Wolverine was or is, or wherever he currently is, if we've even seen the real one so far. I didn't read the Daredevil book, so I don't know if he popped up in there. Are we going to get him in here? We'll find out. I'll spoil that part for you already. No, we get a mostly enjoyable issue, though, because it's hard for Tom Taylor to do really wrong. But as far as Hunt for Wolvie goes, This feels pretty cash grabby so far, but nonetheless enjoyable. So the issue starts with a flashback. So if you haven't really ever read any of Brian Michael Bendis's New Avengers team, you get kind of a quick introduction to them in action here right off the bat. And they're in Tribeca, New York, along with, I don't know if that's just a random Shield agent or that's Maria Hill. I couldn't tell. Could you?
It's a random Shield agent.
Okay. They all kind of look like Maria Hill when they give them that haircut. But they're looking all into this bomb situation here. The Shield agent's got this giant bomb suit on. And it's just kind of stuck in this random building. And they're kind of in a sticky spot here. To boil it all down, there's almost literally nothing they can do to get rid of this bomb. If they touch it, basically it blows. If they try to move it, it blows. They try to detonate it. Well, actually, they can detonate it, but if they try to defuse it, it blows. So they're up against it. Basically, the only out is if someone triggers this bomb, literally grabs it with a live hand. Kind of some back and forth about if the person has to be dead or alive. There's at one point Spider-Man's like, oh boy, this is getting morbid. Yeah, so basically it boils down to someone's got to be alive to trigger this bomb, and the blast radius will be severely limited, like 200 feet instead of a mile or 2 miles, whatever they're trying to evacuate. So there's some debate going back and forth about who's going to pull this switch, with kind of everyone taking the hero's turn, saying they would do it. Before Wolverine basically steps up and says, basically all you guys have more to lose than me. So I'm going to do it. And also because I have a healing factor, because he basically tells Luke Cage, he's like, you're indestructible till you're not. Spider-Man, you don't have any defense against being blown to bits. And they're not going to let Jessica Jones do it. She's the mother of a child. So yeah, Wolverine steps up to the plate. And this is basically the event that brings this team all back together, because after Wolverine did this, they all kind of made separate promises to him.
Like a life debt.
Yeah. Basically for his sacrifice at one point in time, that they bail him out of some situation he's basically got himself into for doing this for them. That's what it all boils down to here. It's a good introduction. I don't know if this ever actually happened in New Avengers. I never really read it, to be honest with you. The BNB Avengers. It didn't. It's just a flashback scene they kind of throw in there to tie this all together, but it's a good one. A little bit of humor mixed in there. I would say most of the voices are pretty spot on. Wolverine feels kind of a little too jokey to be Wolverine, but just kind of a nitpick. Then we flash forward to current day, where we're dealing with Iron Man, who is just off the conversation with Kitty Pryde that they had in the Hunt for Wolverine one shot. And he's currently at the secret burial site with Kitty, and he puts in a call to Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's like, hang on, I'm kicking some Vulture butt. And then Vulture's quickly dealt with. He's like, okay, I'm free. What do you want? And this is just basically assembling the team. This one panel is I wanted to bring up this one panel too, because the art does look amazing, except this one panel just made me think like this piece of Iron Man's armor is going in his butt, and he doesn't really want it there based on his expression. You know the panel I'm talking about?
Which one? When he's like standing over Spider-Man?
Yeah, like he's on the phone with Spider-Man right before the page they're going to the submarine. It's the top left panel.
Oh yeah.
Looks like a piece of armor is like, maybe sliding in a spot of his fanny. It shouldn't be.
The veil, he's got his mouth open like, oh.
Yeah, he's like, whoa. But anyway, it's really the only art hiccup in this issue. They basically had this idea. Tony's like telling everybody, I keep an eye on the dark web, and there's this secret auction going down, and they're auctioning off a superhero's genetic code. They won't reveal the name of this superhero. He's like, I kind of got an inkling it might be Wolverine, along with the timing of Wolverine's body going missing. So they're going to go check out this submarine where all these bad guys are hosting this auction. They go in disguise, kind of at first. Spider-Man's in a suit with his mask on, and everyone ends up throwing these masks on over their masks in Spider-Man's case. to kind of disguise themselves because everyone's wearing disguises. It's like a masquerade auction, so nobody knows who's who or who wins this bid. So yeah, they end up on the submarine and they're just sequestered in this room waiting for everything to start with nice cheese plate and olives there and some drinks, it looks like. But anyway, the knock on the door for them to come attend and everyone starts walking out. This part's a little goofy because it ends up leading to a skirmish because only, they're like trying to put their hands on Luke and Jessica's like, don't touch him. And, at least all this fighting ends quickly. And then when it's determined only one person can go and Iron Man volunteers, he's like, I'll keep my comm on. Everyone will know what's going on in there. I'll keep you posted. If I need help, you know where I'm at. So he attends this auction and I don't know, is that Emma Frost? Like, I'm trying to determine who these bad guys are because they all got masks on. I can't really figure out who's who. I might see Taskmaster there. Might see, it's kind of like a Where's Waldo picture. You get to fill in the blanks of who's got what mask on. You see they might auction off the Hydra Cap shield there.
Oh, you know who's there? The Griffin. I see the Griffin. Remember the Spider-Man issue where they fought?
Yeah. Okay, I see him. Yep, yeah. I see him. Looks like maybe some evil Asgardian or something. There's like some or
like a Mayan guy. He's got like feather headdress.
Yeah, I see him.
See that armor.
One dude looks like, I'm sure it's got to be Taskmaster in that, like the mask with horns headdress.
Yeah, I was thinking one of those guys might be the swordsman.
Yeah. Could be. I don't know. It's a fun panel to look at, basically. But there's this girl in some sexy lingerie running this auction. I don't know if it's Emma Frost or not. Kind of looks like Strong Guy is like the security, doesn't it? But I know it's not. But he doesn't have any hair. But
who's that guy with that ridiculous alien mask with 3 eyes?
I don't know. It looks like the alien from Toy Story is what I thought it was.
It does.
But yeah, that's a fun page. And they kick this auction off with the hot item of the day, this genetic code. And it all boils down to the big cliffhanger reveal of not being Wolverine at all, which was funny. But it's Danielle Cage. So it does kind of tie all together. And you see Luke and Jessica. Luke's surprised and Jessica is fucking pissed. And that's how the book ends. So yeah, we don't really get any answers as to the mystery of Wolverine at all. But we do get a totally separate, interesting mystery. Because Luke Cage and Jessica Jones are here and their daughter genetic code is apparently up for auction. So yeah, we'll find out what happens next issue. But as far as Buy, Borrow, or Forget goes, I mean, I really enjoyed the issue and the art looked fantastic. I am still waiting for some tidbits on this goddamn hunt for Wolverine to actually happen, though. I'm going to check out that Daredevil issue later today, catch up on some comics, see if anything happened there. But I don't know. I just really want to know where Wolverine is, goddammit. And Marvel feels like milking this thing for all it's worth. Although I did enjoy this issue and I'll definitely keep up on the series. This is some classic Tom Taylor stuff going on here. I don't know. If you're here for the Wolverine stuff, it's a borrow. If you're into it for like just a separate Tom Taylor miniseries, so far it's a buy. I don't know how to rate this one. It's hard for me because I really did. I like the book. I'll probably end up getting the series myself. So I'm going to lean towards a buy, I guess, because it hooked me, but just in an entirely different way than I anticipated. So yeah, that's ultimately, I think, my decision. I'm going to lean towards buy. I came into it with maybe a borrow. Not a lot happens, just the team getting together and the mystery being revealed, but that all comes out in the first issue and we can move forward from there. So interested to see where this goes, and hopefully it does all tie into Wolverine. I don't see why it wouldn't with that title on it. So I want to see how it all links together. I'm intrigued, to say the least, about this one. So yeah, it lived up to that billing in that case anyway. What'd you think?
The Daredevil one actually deals more with, like, at the end they actually get some hints of where Wolverine is. Like, it's more on mission than this one.
On point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this one will get there eventually. It's just a weird way to end with a strange cliffhanger. I'm like, all right, here comes the Wolverine cliffhanger and
Yeah.
Cage cliffhanger. So
the horror one's coming next week, Claws of a Killer. So I enjoyed this. It was a fun issue. It has the best art I have ever seen from RB Silva. Like, this guy's done a bunch of X-Men Blue. He's done some X-Men Gold, and he has never had such clear and detailed art in any of those issues that he did there. He did towards the end of the New 52 Red Hood and the Outlaws run. His art was as detailed as this, but this is even better than that. So he really brought his A game for this series. It does have like a little bit of like the lion face. Ryan pointed that out to me. Like, some of the faces look like lions. Did you ever notice that? Like Luke Cage's face and Jessica's face when they make those mean mugs.
Yeah,
like,
it's like how he does the lines in the face, I think, for sure.
Yeah. Like when Wolverine's like, please, anyone here not heard Spider-Man's origins before? And then the two bottom panels and the Shield agent raises her hand. That was fucking hilarious. But you could see their faces. Their faces look like lion faces. But other than that, like, I thought the art was fantastic. I'm with you on the story. If this was just like some Tom Taylor mini, like kind of New Avengers reunion, it would totally be a buy.
Yeah.
But as for Hunt for Wolverine is concerned, it's a borrow so far until they get into that, where Wolverine is territory. Yeah, which I'm sure is going to come probably, if anything, halfway through the next issue or towards the end of the next issue, so they can sew this part of the story up and then move on to Wolverine. But yeah, borrow.
Yeah. I'm real close. I just edged towards buy because like, it was just a book I had low expectations for that ended up kind of like hooking me with a different mystery than I anticipated in the end.
Did you notice, like in the digital copy, in the flashback scenes, when you zoom in, even when you don't zoom in, you can notice it on the page, but like there are these dots all over the screen, and when you zoom in, you could see it. It's like a grid of these dots that kind of make it look like, like a dream sequence.
Yeah,
I really appreciated that, because when I went to like the here and now part of the story, it didn't have any of that. So I'm like, oh, it's cool. It's kind of signifying like a dream sequence to let you know, not only do you know from it saying that you're back in the past, but it's also showing you through the art that it's like kind of a dream sequence. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. So it was a well put together book. I just want some damn answers about Wolverine already.
Me too. I'm dying here.
Until that comes, I'm keeping most of my money for these minis. And like I said, when this Wolverine book eventually drops or comes out, I'll be the first in line to get it. That's for sure. But we're gonna wrap up this week's Marvel Minute. We will put that poll up on Monday for you guys. 3 new books. We might have a couple, or at least one Star Wars one up there, I think, next week. I told Andrew I'd get a Star Wars one up there for him eventually. So if you're in the mood for some Star Wars, throw that a little love on the vote this week. And there'll be 2 other Marvel choices for you to pick from. Let us know what you want to hear. That'll be found at Beamer3660. Trevitt always gives it a retweet, and you can find him at Trev. A bunch of T's in there. Spell it right. So we're out, and we'll holler at you guys next week. Peace out.
The only Star Wars book next week is